Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Red Carpet. Today we have with us a distinguished guest and they're going to talk about the challenges in the Indian financial markets in terms of sharing their experience of running a tokenized real estate exchange platform as well as private markets. So thank you so much Manish and Neera, for being on this podcast. I'm so excited because what you're doing is something which is completely unconventional and which is something which is the need of the hour. It's very global and you're doing that in India. So maybe just a short introduction about both of you before we do a deep dive into uh, RealX and Grex. So maybe ladies first, if you don't mind. Manish, Neera, just a quick background about yourself before you decided to jump into real estate tokenization and private markets, and also how you met Manish.
Oh, yeah, that's a wonderful story. So, hi, thanks for having us. Okay, so by background, of course, born and brought up in Bombay, did education, studied here, worked everything here. Moved to Pune around 9 years ago, and that's when the journey was a pivotal point for me. That's a very different market, Pune, compared to Bombay, where you have a lot of exposure. There it wasn't. And while doing a lot of research for companies that I was working with, I stumbled upon him because he was supposed to do an event for our venture capital. And he was one of, as when I did a lot of research, his name popped up as somebody who's been doing it for a very long time.
Okay.
And when you tried to look out for him, it was very, very difficult. And that's how I reached out to him on LinkedIn because that was the only way I could connect. Otherwise, there was no footprint about who Manish Kumar was.
Okay.
And so this was his company called Intuit Capital back then. And I did my research, reach out to him, and very nicely, I get a very polite email response saying that you need to connect to another person from his organization and he will guide you. So that is how I got introduced to the Manish Kumar. And so it's okay, let's see what happens. And that's where my journey from being into, a business development PR kind of a person got from a proper MNC setup, multinational setup, to a startup. And I got an exposure to this way. And that's how I met him. And it was difficult to get in touch with him. So I was speaking to all of these guys in the organization, Grex, and trying to figure out who Manish Kumar is. And that's when I was leaving my other job, and I told this person saying that Aditya was the guy. I said, Aditya, I'm leaving this job, and somebody else will get in touch with him for the event that we are planning. He said, hold on, if you're leaving, why didn't you come and meet us for once? And I'm not familiar with Pune, okay, how exactly the city is, where exactly things are on. Managed my way to reach. And he said, okay, he's not here, but okay, let me talk and we had a discussion. Unfortunately, he was there in the organization. He was there in the office. And that's how I just had a glimpse of him. But I understood there was a certain protocols that he was following to understand where and how exactly he wants to come and meet me and speak to me. The journey began there where I joined Greg's as the team member in the marketing department. And I didn't know, till then I had no idea who he was. I have never met him. I met the other team members and other co-founders, and I was working. And after I think a month, and almost 15, 20 days, he was traveling. He came back and he came and introduced himself. So that was my journey, meeting him, and began my journey with the marketing team. Then got into, was also offered the role of an EA to him. The growth began from there, went to AVP, and I was handling international businesses with business relations for Grex at that time. And while the journey went on, we moved out, and then he had the idea to set up RealX. And yeah, so for the last 9.5 years, I've known him. And it's him that has led me to the entrepreneurial journey. He said, why don't you take the plunge? So when people decided that it was nice time to hang up your boots and have a very stable job, I took a plunge of becoming an entrepreneur. And wow, rest is history.
Manish would like to hear from you as well.
Yeah, so as you said, I am co-founder of couple of uh, startups which are financial markets by themselves. So one thing that I know as a trade now is to create independent financial markets. So when I say independent financial markets, they have their own rules and they are not dependent on someone else. It's like the apex body kind of stuff, and they weave in a lot of business models that a lot of people are following on the market. That you create. So yeah, so underpinning all of that is a thought that if you if you see around, there is a lot less in terms of what is available for people to invest.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pain on the other side. So the buy side, the sell side, I wasn't going to do really financial markets. I am an entrepreneur into the financial markets, and therefore the take to finance, the take to the market making, the take to building is very novel, very new. So you come from the challenge of the guy who is the receiver of capital, and then you understand what are the challenges of givers of capital, and why can't you expand the givers of capital to more I would say ubiquitously available common people, and why can't they have amazing assets, amazing deals that they can invest in. That's where I think our job as folks who are in finance, legal, technology, etc., lies to stitch the whole engine through which these things can be made possible. That is what we've been doing for a long time now. That's what my intro is.
Very, very interesting how the two of you got together, and then now, of course, RealX and GregX is something which is hopefully going to be a name in asset tokenization, which I'm going to ask the two of you, what is it for the viewers to, in simple words, to explain. But maybe I'll just take a little bit of step back to understand you two as an individual. I know, Neera, we both went to Podar College, so that's the commonality. But let's go back to your childhood days and what shaped you to become an entrepreneur, and again within entrepreneurship, finance.
Yeah.
So could you kind of share some background? Was finance was something which was well talked about at home, or dad or mom, or family business was more ingrained, finance was more ingrained, or it is something that you kind of discovered after you finished your graduation and you kind of got a job and you realized, this is something which interests me. So maybe both of you could go a little bit into your, not so much about career. I'm more interested to know as an individual person, why you chose finance. Why not aeronautics? Why not medicine? Yeah, anyone.
Yeah, so giving a background about where I come from. So a typical middle class family where the father was working, mother was the housewife. Growing up, I don't think we had so much of an exposure when we were growing up about finance per se, because you had the thought process of everybody around you was have a stable job, find a stable career, and just move along with it. Plus, the college the alma mater that we represent are typically the chartered accountants, company secretaries, and all of those kind of things. But I was inclined to getting into CS, company secretarial kind of education. But somehow I just deviated because the way thought of doing 3 years of law and then 2 years of CS became very daunting for me. So I chose to get into the workforce immediately. But per se, when we were growing up, nobody spoke finance with us because they thought, oh, ye bacche hain, a little small to understand. It was always brushed aside. And I don't come from a business side family where you talk about finance that much. So as the youngest in the family, we were always protected in a bubble and nobody talks to you. The elders are the ones they're the hush tone mein, and they wrap it up. And even when you get into the workforce, nobody talks about finance with you because you didn't think about getting into that field or understanding that I want to be there. And to be very honest with you, I would run from finance. Okay. I was like the last one to get into any kind of a financial study or even to think about products.
Okay.
However, and that's when I went to Greg's and they said, okay, you have to, and they explained Greg's to me. I like, no, this is not where I want to be. And no, because I didn't understand the capital markets at that time.
And this was like, what, 15 years ago?
No, 9 years ago.
9 years ago. Okay.
10 years ago. When they had started off, and 2016 I'm talking about.
Mm.
And I knew I was working with SME Chamber of India, which is for the startups, small and medium industries association. So I had seen the other side where people were trying to reach out to these startups and to SMEs to understand what problems they face. And we were like the bridge between the policymakers, the industries, the institutions, and the startups and these companies on the other side. So I'd seen the challenges they were facing to make people understand and do it. So that was all, because you like it and you are interacting with people. I'm more of a people's person, not somebody who can sit behind a laptop and crunch numbers, not me. And then take 2, I'm in Greg's where I'm handling companies who are getting into capital raise process. They're understanding what their cap table looks like, what does a SHA look like, what are the terms that they're talking about, and those financial market jargons. I was scared. Okay. But see, he's not only just my work colleague, he's also my mentor, because it's because of him that I understood a lot of things that go into the jargons, the terminologies that you go into, relationship as to what are the different the segments in the financial market, how do they work and what exactly. So today, if I can boast about it, talk about it, it's of course because of the exposure that I got into. So my exposure has been post getting into in Greg's as to what financial market and capital market looks like.
Correct. Manish, what about you? Your background that led to you becoming an entrepreneur in the field of fintech.
So I think it's quite interesting from various angles. One, I would like to first place that I think I had a privileged childhood. So the kind of relative privilege I enjoyed in my childhood, for me to earn that today is getting tougher. So let's put it that way. So people have affluence, as India has affluence probably today. I grew up, when we grew up, we didn't have that. So part of that also built in me when I grew up that I need to give back. It also built in me the feeling that I don't crave for, let's say, making money for myself, so you kind of grew up pretty well. So you understand. So, and if you think you're smart, you probably will earn well. So the purpose then doesn't become, how do I earn my livelihood? That is okay. Right. The purpose then becomes slightly more, what do I do to go probably beyond what my parents have done? And then you think differently. So maybe it was that purpose. Maybe it was me yearning, inclining myself, or maybe it was environment. I don't know all that. But one thing I know was connecting few dots. I always got rejected first. This is a common place happening with me. I will get rejected for something that I would normally aspire for, and in general, I would go ahead and replicate the whole ecosystem itself, in my private, universe, because they rejected entry to me. And that has happened all across in my student life. So give you an example, I will get rejected to be part of a play, and then I will do stand-up comedy independently. So my teacher didn't teach me. I will go and, do that. Today it is called stand-up comedy. I would do that during the breaks between the plays when the curtains were up. And, so uncoached.
Correct.
And therefore I was never trainable, rebel, doing things on your own, and you can connect, these dots.
Correct.
So, and I succeeded. So it's tough, very tough when you are rejected, when nobody is giving anything to you, but then it becomes your trait. Nobody will give anything to you.
True.
Just go and do it, and I remember in standard 8th, I used to talk to my friends saying that, tomorrow I'll become an entrepreneur and will you join me? I didn't know the terms entrepreneur. I used to call it industrialist at that point.
Okay.
So will you join me? And I used to talk to them in some sense, recruiting them.
Yeah.
So I think it was all in there, in standard 6th, I started a, library, kind of stuff. So those traits were there where you,
Right.
comic books, etc.
Correct,
So
correct,
you will be collating everybody's comic books and then, everybody will subscribe and they
Correct.
pay and all that.
Yeah.
So those traits were there, I think. So, and then, similar things I did, during my college days. In my engineering, I set up while, people joined their second year.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was in the first year of engineering, while you were supposed to be ragged, I actually set up a forum,
Okay.
there. And I was formally heading that forum as well as another one that a senior gave to me in when I was entering second year. After the first year break that you go home,
Right.
I already was heading 2 forums, one created by me and one given to me,
Wow.
to co-head. So these were very unusual tendencies, for anybody. First year you are supposed to be ragged. You don't, find a loophole in the system and you figure out your own system of doing that and you create your own organization and you formally get it recognized. And I was heading that formally with constitution in my fifth semester, and I left that with 3 semesters in front of me inside college and with succession planning in place.
Oh, wow. So it
You know?
still continues.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and that was simply because at that point I created this organization because Rotaract did not give me the form
I see.
to become a member. Those guys didn't think me worthy enough for a form, so I created something that paralleled Rotaract. This is very normal. So I think those things,
This basically planted the seed for
the rebel guy,
Yeah.
So that is very ingrained. You deny me that and I will create the whole thing,
Interesting.
So, and that comes naturally. If you ask me a smaller goal, can I create an NBFC which will sell the loan to a bank? I think it's pretty difficult for me. I mean, in the sense, very boring. The purpose itself doesn't have enough of a challenge that you get up and work hard.
Right.
Today, I think I'm first time candid on camera. I never said this on camera, but that happened. Then, when I was working in Cognizant, I saw my batchmates, and I had done my startup. I did my first startup in 2006.
Okay.
When the challenge that I faced was the ecosystem wasn't evolved,
Right.
and people did not understand what was the meaning of a startup. So that was a tough one to explain people what is a startup. I had left, H1B visa, came to India to grow in India, and those things are playing out. The thesis is playing out.
So when you say H1B visa, you did actually go to America?
I was in the US.
Sure.
I left that because
वो सब छोड़ के?
because I predicted that India will
You
rise.
should listen to the other part of it where, I mean, even today I asked him, I said, I will use really sane at that time to do what it was. It was uncle. Yeah.
Yeah, so I left that because I thought India is going to rise. The sun will rise in the east.
तो कितने साल तक आप अमेरिका में थे?
I was there for 9 months.
अच्छा, short time.
So yeah. I was clear that मुझे इधर आना है.
अच्छा.
So but what it did, because we are on the subject, what US did to me was ingrain me a different professional culture. Cycling to work when I'm in a bank, in shorts, and that professional culture I still continue.
Got it.
In thoughts,
Right.
that it is not your dress code, it is the power of your thoughts. The fact that a warm idea and people can work on ideas, you can bet on people and you don't need to know their antecedents. So those professional, I think culturally that has a very profound.
I totally agree. I had a similar experience when I was in Silicon Valley, and मुझे अभी भी याद है मेरे कंपनी में across me was a Korean left me Korean, right me Japanese. My boss was Indian. My founder was a Japanese, and of course there are American staff as well. And it was not about what you wear.
Yeah.
Absolutely no.
Yeah.
Where you come from doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You will be welcomed with a smile, and what you bring to the table counts.
Matters. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Bilkul, bilkul.
And I sorely miss that in India. So
But you're like this poles apart. So I come from wherein he says okay, he was privileged and then he started doing all of this, starting his own library club. I was more of this free soul, left to do what you want to do, pampered, completely protected, and you get into the professional world in Bombay. So where the professional ethics are very high.
Right.
You're supposed to be dressed in a particular way, you conduct yourself in such a particular way. And that's how my life has been very protected. I have got whatever I wanted in life. I've achieved it. I was very happy. Happy was a lucky soul. When I met him, this was like a shocker for me because when you work in Bombay, you're professionally very dressed. You're perfectly there, tired to go to meetings anytime you require.
Yeah.
I enter Greg's, and Greg's is this. I mean, I still remember it's so vivid in my memory. It's this beautiful office. You walk in, and there is no cubicle. There's an open desk.
Silicon Valley style.
Absolutely. With huge green and blue polka dots on a white wall. You have blue and red chairs. I'm like, who does this in an office? How do people even work here? And I was the only one who was so formally dressed. Rest of them are in jeans and t-shirts and sneakers. I'm like, are you serious? How do you work like this? Because I said, where's my work desk? They said, oh, this is the open space. You work. And can you imagine, like, for somebody, when you come from a very straightforward professional background, to get to let loose like this, it's a difficult task. It was difficult for me to imbibe that. I had a lot of struggle.
You're absolutely right. I still remember my first day at work, and I asked my boss, where's my desk? He said, wherever you can find a place, that's your desk. And I looked at him.
Exactly. And the mindset was that you come anytime, you go anytime. There's a fixed timing for you guys. You'll be asked to stay back. Another, it's asked to stay back late. So, what? And then no work. And then the madness of writing on the wall, the glass wall. I was like, okay, something else, whiteboard. What you've seen so far. And then he goes beyond technology. See, because he looks at envisages something which is going to be happening in the future, he gets it inculcated way advanced into your work culture. So we never thought of all of that part. He would sit with us, and he's the CEO. You should be sitting with us, that kind of a concept that you have. No, that. But what I've understood, with my journey so far, Kishore, is that thanks to him, I've been able to bring that rebellious, bold side of me more profoundly now. Because our work culture subdues us a lot when we are trying to work or think loud. He gave us that freedom. So imagine telling you that, okay, this is your task. You're going to talk about this. This is what you're going to do. I said, how do I do it? It's your job. Find out how you do it. And I looked at him and said, this is not possible. This is not how it is. And we are so used to saying, sir, ma'am.
True.
And if actually correct her that why are you calling this guy, sir?
Yeah.
You only do that when you genuinely develop respect for that person.
Correct.
Otherwise everybody is equal and it's okay.
So imagine trying to break that stereotype in your mindset. And I'm not talking about when I was 20, 21. I'm talking about when I was crossed my 35s, okay?
Wow.
Or I'm almost nearing my 40s. This is what happens with me. And I am looking at him and saying, this guy seriously not lost it. I don't know how to do it. And I'm working closely with him. He says, no, this was you play around. You gave me the freedom. And then when there was a time when I had to choose between, I had an opening with Mercedes-Benz to work as their customer service head, report to the German office directly and all of that. Vis-a-vis, he said, okay, this is another offer, is you join me as this and this, as the co-founder, the entrepreneur, take a pick. And imagine, I have my two kids who had to go to school. I was married to a family where it was very predominantly the typical kiddie, you have a 9 to 5 job, you should have a steady job where retirement is to be planned and all of that. And here I have to decide whether I choose a proper job.
You threw yourself to become
That's myself. And I was
into the unknown.
absolute unknown.
and I'm like so amazed. Of course, we're going to do a deep dive into property tokenization and private markets after this. I'm amazed that you took that plunge into something which doesn't even have some kind of a to look around in India, at least back then, and even now. I should say that, right? If you could explain, maybe one of you could explain what is private markets, and maybe one of you could explain what is real estate tokenization. Each of you decide what you want to take up, and how me as an investor can come and invest. And let's say if I am a company, right, trying to fund, how does Grex, sorry, help me to get funding? Maybe if both of you could take anyone, maybe you want to take Grex, you want to take RealX, or vice versa. I'm okay.
No, I will take Grex.
Okay. So, see, you have this listed market ecosystem, right? That everybody understands. The concept of private market is that we bring systems, processes, user experience, of investing in public markets.
Public market यानी
Listed stock exchange ecosystem, which is very well understood, which is a wider, more commonplace ecosystem. Private market is about bringing the best of public market as well as private deals, as they happen.
इसको और सिंप्लीफाई करें,
Yeah.
इसको और सिंप्लीफाई करें मनीष, मतलब प्राइवेट डील्स यानी क्या, मतलब स्टार्टअप कंपनी है कि मैच्योर कंपनी है?
तो मैं बस बता रहा हूँ कि व्हाट इज अ प्राइवेट मार्केट, कि यू ब्रिंग इन स्ट्रक्चर टू द सी अभी इनटू द प्राइवेट investing into unlisted companies space is very, very unstructured. It doesn't have any common rule that you are following. For example, there you are following a SEBI rule. यहाँ पे कोई नहीं है जो रूल बुक बना रहा है. यहाँ पे कोई नहीं है जो प्रोडक्ट्स को स्टैंडर्डाइज कर रहा है. यहाँ पे कोई people are doing all kinds of things by themselves. Which is why it is very chaotic.
Okay.
Etc. Now, any economy can do way better if you bring little organized order to that, and things start moving, in a certain expected fashion. So that is the whole concept of enabling smaller companies, or let's say pre-IPO companies, or anybody who is unlisted, to have voluntarily the facilities that probably only listed guys get. So it is, from that angle, if you see it, it looks like that. And from the other hand side, for the investor who has been investing, he gets the access to look at fast growing companies early on in their journey. So you bring these two together and you have a private market, which at some end also retains the private deal making features, as well as it also brings in standard, processes, governance, systems, experience that is commonly available in the listed, market. So that's the way I would define, the private
तो
market.
अगर समझो मैं एक इन्वेस्टर हूँ,
हाँ,
मैं प्राइवेट मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहता हूँ, एज एन एग्जांपल, मुझे एग्जिट कब मिलेगा? यानी कि अगर मैं अपना इन्वेस्टमेंट बेचना चाहता हूँ, तो प्राइवेट मार्केट मींस आई एम अज्यूमिंग इट्स इक्विटी.
Yeah, I mean, it may not only be equity.
It may not only be equity. Let's say it's equity or debt, right?
Yeah.
तो डेट तो ठीक है, समझ में आता है कि there is a duration period and after that the payment has to be made back, ठीक है ना?
Yeah.
लेकिन equity में तो एग्जिट कैसे मिलेगा मुझे जब तक कि कोई बायर नहीं आता है?
Interestingly, यही एक क्वेश्चन है बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग. So every entrepreneur today, let's say you leave Grex aside, every entrepreneur is required to prepare a slide on exit for the investor.
अच्छा.
Why should the entrepreneur make a slide on exit for the investor? Why should he even care? He should only, if you ask me, the entrepreneur in any ecosystem is the original value creator. Okay. We are constraining the entrepreneur by one, making him run around with a begging bowl. all over the place, which means we are wasting economic, energy or economic wealth. Number two, we are asking him to think about exit for you while his sole purpose should be creating value for the common company that where you are also a part. You should think about yourself, or somebody should do the exit part. It should not be the entrepreneur's job, to build exit, plans for you, because that's a very different orientation. That he is working for your exit or he is working for this original value creation. That the unfortunate part is, since there is nothing out there, the entrepreneurs are required to, think about that. While organized investors are also like private equity, venture capital, they can also think about their own exit while they still need that thought from the entrepreneur. What Grex does fundamentally changes the whole paradigm. What it says is, and sometimes you also say at Grex that if there's a will, now we have a way. Now earlier there was, if there's a will, there is simply no way that is defined. We kind of have a pathway. So what we do now is ask companies to come on board. They go live, just like, in the listed ecosystem, they go listed. The companies go live. The companies are cleaned up. They are already, due diligence cleared and things like that. And then they remain in that state. They are expected to remain clean, remain compliant at all times, and raise multiple rounds of need-based capital as they keep growing, which can be forever. So you keep growing, you have, provisions in law that you can, access investment through multiple, facilities, and you invoke those facilities, keep growing, keep talking, keep responding, and keep growing. That's the market. While your investor, when he needs an exit, there is a secondary market, and for the investors, we tell them this is not a trading, place. This is a value investing place. So you will get an exit, but you can't do day trades, kind of stuff. That is a stock exchange business, and that will happen once the companies grow. They outgrow this platform. Right. The investors' needs will grow. There would be many investors, and the whole volume, the whole play of the company will kind of outgrow this platform, and they'll naturally graduate to the stock exchanges. If you ask me truly, when you see this story like that, you probably will think, why don't we have that first and then the stock exchanges?
Correct.
Isn't it, a kind of a void that we don't have the grooming that it takes to build the companies to go to a stock exchange? So this becomes the rightful grooming, where we are saying that these investors are minority guys. One, they haven't put their fortune into you, which kind of protects them on the other side. But these are minority investors. If you do well here, and if you learn how to manage and how to report that, you are going to run a very good listed company, tomorrow. So that's the whole, purpose of private markets.
Okay.
And fundamentally, I believe very, very strongly that private markets can generate enormous wealth, both sides, for entrepreneurs and for investors, because, you probably may still lose money on the stock exchange. With value investing, it has not happened yet, and there are no measures to say that, but private investing, if you do it, kind of disciplined way, you research your companies and things like that, which anyway, there's no other way to invest, you probably are not going to lose money 90% of the time, so that changes the whole VC game, how they propose, funds, and how they propose, things to happen. They are looking out for, now coming in, there's a commentary out there, they are looking out for a very different J curve, companies. We are looking for sustainable companies, J curve or otherwise, so we are looking for companies that can have the gravitas, that can handle investors, that can handle growth, that can handle themselves, So, and yes, we, the institutional investors are welcome to invest, into that. That's private market for you.
Fantastic.
No, I'll give an example. Yes, I've been with Greg's journey for a very long time. यहाँ पे सिर्फ आप एक कंपनी को ग्रो करते हुए नहीं देखते हो, आप इन्वेस्टर्स को भी देखते हो। और हमारा एक ही होता है कि जो इन्वेस्टर्स आ रहे हैं, जो इनमें पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, वो ना कि सिर्फ अपने प्रॉफिट बनाने के लिए आए। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल, वी ऑल हैव आवर नेटवर्क्स। इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड द कंपनी एंड you've invested, there are ways that हम we open the doors to our network for the company to grow. What do companies need today? Of course, if money is fundamental to grow, but they also need an access to the business outside. आज एक पॉइंट के बाद देयर इज अ सॉर्ट ऑफ स्टैग्नेंसी, आप नहीं बढ़ पाते उसके आगे. आप कैसे बढ़ोगे? आप मार्केट में तो जाते हो, पर अगर आपके पास इतने सारे इन्वेस्टर्स हैं जो कि आपको वो उनके पास नहीं होगा, पर उनके पास जो दूसरे दो फ्रेंड्स हैं, नेटवर्क है, बिजनेस एसोसिएट है, we can open the door for you. I'll give you an example. The first company that I joined Greg's post at first company raise. This company is based in Gurgaon, and they raised the capital and everything was done. And suddenly जब हम वापस से कर रहे थे ग्रेक्स को, तो मैंने कहा ठीक है, मैं बात करती हूँ उनसे कि क्या है, कहाँ पे है ये अब तक. तो आई कॉल्ड अप, आई सेड कि आई वाज लुकिंग एट रेजिंग कैपिटल, क्या कर रहे हो, कहाँ पे हो? बोलते नहीं. आई सेड हाँ. आई सेड आई डोंट नीड कैपिटल. And that was music to my ears. I said कि somebody who's done first time capital raise with us, आज after a year and after 2-3 years, and I called them up, they said हमें नहीं चाहिए capital. मैंने कहा पर आप इतने सालों तक क्या कर रहे थे, मतलब did you raise anything ग्रेस के बाहर कुछ किया आपने? बोलते नहीं, क्योंकि ग्रेस पे जो हमने रेज किया था और जो इन्वेस्टर्स हमारे साथ आए थे, उन्होंने सारों ने अपने बिजनेसेस, अपने एसोसिएट्स को इंट्रोडक्शन हमें दी थी, जिसकी वजह से they found it difficult to service all of them at that time. They were overloaded with orders, और इसके कारण they became profitable.
Oh,
Revenue making. तो फिर अगर उसकी आपके यहाँ से रेस करने के बाद they didn't have to go back to capital raise, and they were just pre-COVID, and they were going to go for IPO. जैसे कहा नीला मैं तो 2 महीने में IPO करने वाला हूँ. Unfortunately, COVID hit us and all of that part of it. तो I called them up again. I said क्या हो रहा है? Because I'm sure आपने IPO नहीं किया, just कोई सुना ही नहीं दिया मुझे. तो नहीं, हमने because 2 years that was lost in COVID, we had to recover. वो भी हो गया. ऐसे कैपिटल नहीं रेस करना पड़ा because वो जो था हमने उसी दिन.
And those guys have been paying dividends.
Yes.
Wow.
To all the investors.
And if you ask me, something stunned us. We see, as startup entrepreneurs, you have a thesis that you build a company, but the company has a life of its own.
Bilkul.
It gives you pleasant surprises also.
Of
So
course.
one of the things that we never anticipated. So the first time ever Grex raises capital, for a company, the company lost, and I'm talking 2015. The company lost 4.8%, raised 1.4 crores. Even today, that is not possible. In a first round funding, you lose a whole lot more. And so therefore at Grex, we also talk about every 1% counts. So that's, these were surprises that we had not projected.
Right.
But we believe that it will dramatically change the cost of capital equation.
Right.
And that's the paradigm shift that I'm talking about.
It's very amazing, huh? Very interesting.
Yes.
Maybe a little bit about RealX, if you could touch Neera.
The RealX was a far easier, or say rather simpler form of doing what we were getting into. Predominantly वो शुरू हुआ था thought process से कि भाई आज आप अगर property खरीदने जाते हो, real estate, it's very high. The cost is very high. और अगर आप लेने जाते हो तो naturally the first thing that we look at is we look at residences, because that's one thing. कुछ नहीं होगा तो भी I can put it up on rent and I can at least get the rental there. But that is a very small fragment of what you're going to get versus what you're going to invest into that kind of that property. Plus, the second aspect is running around. अगर आपने इसको lease पे कर भी दिया तो every 11 months आपको दौड़ना पड़ता है because आपको agreement renew करानी है. Plus go and check the property if it is kept properly or not. Has there been any deterioration? And God forbid, if there's any other issue that comes or crops up with the society, that too needs to be handled by you. Now take to other Then take to the other side of it is you see the malls, cinema halls that are there. When you walk into a mall, you see various branded shops that are available to you. बोलते कि who puts money in this kind of area where you see the rental will definitely be high क्योंकि branded shops हैं तो rental देंगे अच्छे से, consistent होगा, banks होते हैं. ये property कभी middle class या upper middle class के हाथ में नहीं आती है. और generally आई भी तो you have to pay a huge chunk to it. तो आप वापस से mortgage लेना, those are things that you need to get into, which is again bound to you for the next 30 years. So Manish was thinking on those lines and he said, अगर हम इसी को ले आए तो कॉमन पब्लिक कि आप छोटे अमाउंट्स में कर दीजिए, आप अगर उसको पूल कर सके और ला सके, तो रियल एक्स बेसिकली इज जो प्रॉपर्टी हम ले आते हैं उसमें आप अकेले ओनर नहीं होते हो, हम उसको ना ब्रेक डाउन कर देते हैं ताकि आपके पॉकेट फ्रेंडली बजट के हिसाब से आप उसमें इन्वेस्ट कर सको डिपेंडिंग ऑन द प्रॉपर्टी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हमने जो फर्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी इगतपुरी की जो हम वापस से लाइक की है हमने साइट पे हमने की थी, तो वो कुछ 22 से 23 लाख की थी.
अच्छा.
It was a small plot in a gated community. तो हमने कहा चलिए ट्राई करते हैं इसको कि कैसे होता है. सो वी सेड ओके हाउ डू वी ब्रेक इट डाउन. सो हमने क्या था कि तभी हमने टोकनाइजेशन भी उसको ओपन कर दिया था. तो हमारे पास 2 मोड्स थे. एक हम करते हैं रजिस्टर्ड को ओनरशिप, जो कि आप जो नॉर्मल आश होता है आप जाके सेल डीड कराते हैं, आपका नाम होता है उसमें, तो सारे को इन्वेस्टर्स के नाम उसमें होते हैं एंड द सेल डीड गेट रजिस्टर्ड और उसमें टोकनाइजेशन के लोग के भी होते हैं. दैट्स अ वन बंच ओवर देयर. तो जो हम रजिस्टर्ड को ओनरशिप को आरसीओ बोलते हैं एंड टोकनाइजेशन ऑफ कोर्स डिजिटली द वे यू होल्ड इन्वेस्टमेंट इनटू द प्रॉपर्टी. So we brought it down to a level where the base was 50,000 for tokenization. और जो registered ownership की ज़रूरत है, we said okay let's keep it 2 lakhs and above, 3 lakhs and above. Multiples of that आप उसको इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हो. तो इमेजिन अगर आज मैं कोई प्रॉपर्टी ले आती हूँ, say in Bombay also for example residence which is there in Worli. I don't think any one of us ever thought about investing your entire money to be around 4-5 CR aram se that you're looking at. But if I bring down the cost and if everybody can come together and invest and hold it, so mind you, this is not possession. आप जाकर आप रह नहीं सकते, आप एक इन्वेस्टमेंट व्हीकल की तरह आप इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो टू गेट. हम सबको पता है कि प्रॉपर्टी इन इंडिया एनीवेयर गिव्स यू गुड यील्ड्स. अपने आपको फीस कैपिटल एप्रिसिएशन तो मिल जाएगा एट द एंड ऑफ इट. तो उस एंगल से कि हाउ कैन से अ वर्किंग वुमन आल्सो पार्टिसिपेट, वुड शुड बी एबल टू पार्टिसिपेट इनटू इट. दैट वाज द आइडिया दैट रियलिक्स वाज that came up with. And then how do you break it down कि आपकी investment amounts कम हो जाए. But depending on property, of course, size of the property, it changes. Democratization of investment into property is what Realix is all about.
और इसमें जो है एग्जिट कैसे मिलेगा अगर समझो मैंने इन्वेस्ट किया.
हाँ जी.
क्योंकि रियलिक्स जो है वो जैसे प्राइवेट मार्केट्स इज इनटू अनलिस्टेड कंपनीज, राइट? तो रियलिक्स इज इनटू लैंड. तो एग्जिट कैसे मिलेगा अगर समझो किसी ने इन्वेस्ट किया?
अच्छा, तो मैं आपको अभी उल्टा पूछते हूँ.
हाँ.
अगर आपने किसी इन्वेस्टमेंट की होती प्रॉपर्टी में,
हाँ,
तो आप उससे कैसे एग्जिट लेते हैं?
बेच के.
नेचुरली. तो मैं ये नहीं कह रही हूँ कि वो प्रॉपर्टी रियलिक्स के पास है.
हाँ.
आप लोग तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल तो क्या होता है कि ये मिथ है लोगों के इसमें कि अगर सब लोग साथ में आते तो कौन एक्चुअली होल्ड कर रहा है प्रॉपर्टी.
हाँ.
तो जिन्होंने प्रॉपर्टी में पैसे डाले वो प्रॉपर्टी उन्हीं की है ना
जी.
आप किसी और के कैसे आप ओनरशिप हो सकती है क्योंकि नाम आपका जा रहा है वहाँ पे.
हाँ.
तो जैसे आप अपनी प्रॉपर्टी को हैंडल करोगे, आप जाके बेचते हो या ब्रोकर के पास जाके बताते हो, यहाँ पे वी हैव एसेट मैनेजर्स जो आपको हेल्प करेंगे.
हाँ.
सेकेंडरी मार्केट अगेन इट विल कम इन, जहाँ पे आप लिस्ट करके उसको जैसे वो कर सकते हैं. सो सिमिलरली तो आप अपने फ्रैक्शंस को भी बेच सकते हो. एंड द अदर वन इज जब if we get a good deal, कि someone is coming to purchase that property, and if it looks fine to us, it is sent across to the co-investors जो owners.
प्रोसेस है बेसिकली टू प्रॉपर्टी इज प्रॉपर्टी.
हाँ.
वो प्रॉपर्टी की तरह ही एग्जिट होगी. सो डजंट मैटर आप खरीदो, आप अपने वाइफ के साथ खरीदो, आप अपने पापा मम्मी सबके साथ खरीदो, या आप अपने दोस्तों के साथ खरीदो, या 600 दूसरे लोगों के साथ खरीदो. इट डजंट मैटर हु ओन्ड इट अर्लियर. प्रॉपर्टी की तो इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू प्रॉपर्टी की है.
मैं अपने टोकन्स बेच सकता हूँ बेसिकली.
नहीं, 2 पार्ट्स हैं.
अच्छा.
आई सेड प्रॉपर्टी फुल सेल के लिए भी जा सकती है.
हाँ.
दैट इज व्हाट वी से कि प्रॉपर्टी अप्रिशिएट्स इन 3 to 5 years. आराम से पेशेंट रहो. जस्ट बिकॉज वी हैव enabled you to buy it in parts doesn't change the character.
जी.
So therefore प्रॉपर्टी फुल सेल भी जाएगी. In the interim, if you are a token holder, you will have a secondary market on RealX. And you will be able to exit out अगर आप depending on buyer seller pricing and availability, liquidity, etc. But मैं आज भी, since we have not launched the secondary market yet, I still don't talk about that part as much.
अच्छा.
I say कि नहीं यार प्रॉपर्टी है, let's say कि हमारा secondary market नहीं है, नहीं चलता, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, but we are still bringing in amazing properties, and those properties will appreciate. you know. तो एग्जिट आएगा ना, जो प्रॉपर्टी बिकेगी, बाकी सेकेंडरी मार्केट भी बनाएंगे, एंड इफ इट वर्क्स फॉर यू, बेटर देन दैट, so good for you. So that is how we explained it today.
So GregX and RealX both don't have a secondary market right now.
Grex, so both never introduced the secondary market.
Not
Grex is only coming up now
Okay.
again, so it will have the secondary market inbuilt, but not to, but intrinsic in their constructs is the secondary market as well.
Okay.
Just that both have not come to a point where we need the secondary market. For the secondary market to be active, there must have been enough and more number of issuances in the primary side, so there is enough supply at least.
Correct.
So the idea is to build that primary side first, and then there is a natural need for the secondary market, and then you need a waiting period of 2 years. Otherwise the whole taxation short-term capital gains thing will eat away your returns. So there's no hurry.
So from what I understand is both the companies, and you both are founders, are completely bootstrapped. Correct?
I mean, Grex today is housed, in a large diversified house.
But initially,
Yes.
Initially. So can you share some of the challenges and the mistakes which you did, and you hope you didn't do that, because it's such a regulated space that you're operating in, right? I mean, imagine private markets, imagine tokenized real estate. And मैं इसलिए पूछ रहा हूँ ताकि जो लोग स्टार्टअप्स जो है, जो फिनटेक में आना चाहते हैं, स्पेशली इन दिस रेगुलेटेड स्पेस, वो आप लोग दोनों से सीख सके कि इसे अवॉइड करो, ताकि आपका जो द प्रोसेस डजंट एंड योर टाइम डजंट गेट वेस्टेड, क्योंकि इसमें रिसोर्सेस लगते हैं, टाइम लगते हैं, एंड स्पेशली सिंस इज रेगुलेटेड, इट कैन गेट वेरी फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग. तो इसके ऊपर थोड़ा आप शेयर करेंगे.
Both, I think, with Grex, what my learning has been, first it was Grex and then it was RealX. He's always been talking about this, and he's always inculcated that into our heads, when we were working, and when you work with him, it's a patient game. You cannot overstep and say कि नहीं मुझे ये करना है आज, या मुझे कल ये करके दिखाना है. You have to understand क्या हो रहा है. एंड एट टाइम्स जब हम लोग नेचुरली जब आप नए नए आते हो इसके अंदर, तो आपको लगता है कि यार ये ऐसा क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, व्हाई कांट द रेगुलेटर्स अंडरस्टैंड. तो इनका एक ही स्टेटमेंट होता है कि डू यू अंडरस्टैंड द रेगुलेटर्स, डू यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट द लॉ ऑफ द लैंड इज, डू हैव यू डन योर इनफ ऑफ योर रीडिंग्स, अंडरस्टैंडिंग की क्या है, एंड अंडरस्टूड कि वो कहाँ से आ रहे हैं, एंड व्हाट आर योर बाउंड्रीज. सो व्हेन यू अंडरस्टैंड योर बाउंड्रीज, बिकम्स ईजियर for you to work around it and understand कि आप कहाँ पे step overstep नहीं कर रहे हो, and yet you are being easy to work with. That has been a major learning for me from him while working with him and growing with him in this business. And as a first-time entrepreneur, as I would call myself, it is very difficult to distinguish the fast pace and the company that you work with. And that we are in the space that we are into. आप पहले सोचो कि आप कहाँ पे पिवट करने वाले हो, अब आपका एंड गोल क्या है. If it's short term, don't get into it, because these are long play areas, and to be able to patiently grow on it, then you will probably do much better. Understand where the scalability market क्या है. Repeat मत कीजिए जो already market में है. Try and find a solution. Build a solution for it.
Manish, what about you? What are some of the mistakes and challenges that you faced? Because for you it must be not easy, considering you started off this, and then of course Neera came and joined. So आपके तो challenges एक अलग ही level पे होंगे. and what I see is, I think every time Neera comes to you, somehow you are that person who says, don't worry, have patience. तो कहाँ से आता है पेशेंस आपको इन दिस रेगुलेटेड एनवायरनमेंट?
नहीं, वो बचपन वाली प्रैक्टिस है. When I think many times over I have gone through this where nothing was happening.
अच्छा.
And you kept on to it. And one day there is, that glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel, and suddenly there's too much light.
Mm.
So there will be darkness, and that will be excruciating. And at any point in time, मैं आजकल एक दो एग्जांपल देता हूँ. फॉर
जी.
एग्जांपल, लोगों को जिसकी भी टफ जर्नी होती है,
जी जी.
यू नो, नेचुरली आई लव एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, यू नो, सो मेरे बहुत सारे बोलते हैं, आई कनेक्ट इंस्टेंटली यू नो विद एंटरप्रेन्योर्स. सीधा ही मेरा होता है, कितना पेन हो रहा है, कहाँ हो रहा है, ये बता, यू नो, वो सब मत बता, क्या कर इन यहाँ से बात करना शुरू कर, एंड दे टॉक, यू नो. सो बट देन एक मैं लोगों को, किसी को भी बता रहा था कि कि तुमको क्या लगता है तुम्हारा पेन कितना है. we are now in our middle age, right? So a lot of years, you know, gone by. मेरी जर्नी इतनी लंबी हो गई in creating Rex, you know, doing the regulatory journey, done regulatory journey across, you know, Singapore, Dubai, everywhere.
जी.
So and then, you know, people give up very very fast, and then that is where I say कि तुमको क्या लगता है ये भगवान राम को कितने दिन रहना पड़ा था बाहर? 14 years. You know, Nelson Mandela 23 years in a dungeon. Okay, 23 years के बाद चल नहीं पाओगे, लाइट बर्दाश्त नहीं होगी, प्रेसिडेंट बना दिया, उससे मतलब बन खड़े नहीं हो पाओगे. He rose up and he ruled the country, and he made what he was, you know, he made it happen. So, you know, ये बोलना कि मैं थक गया, ये बोलना मैं टायर्ड हो गया, ये बोलना कि वो जल्दी सक्सीड कर रहा है, और रिलेटिव मेजर्स, यू नो, यू हैव योर ओन लाइफ, यू हैव योर ओन स्ट्रगल्स, you have your own journey, but never say die, you know, and never too late. And so, you know, that's what, you know, keeps it going and keeps it fresh. अभी भी, आज भी, for example, ग्रेक्स को मेरा फर्स्ट ट्रांजैक्शन किए हुए इतने साल हो गए, तो 2015, और आज भी दुनिया में ऐसा कुछ नहीं.
अच्छा.
आज भी 13 days में, थिंक अबाउट इट, आज भी मुझे लोग अभी भी मुझे लोग कॉम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं, बोलते हैं यू वेर अहेड ऑफ टाइम, एंड आई वाज नॉट अहेड ऑफ टाइम. मैं तो कर चुका था तब तक, मैं बीच में रुक गया, ये जर्नी हो गई, यू नो, वी वेंट थ्रू आवर ओन पेन, आर्टिफिशियल पेन तो वो, है ना, बट अहेड वेट कुछ नहीं होता. you if you could think it, then you could make it happen. You know, it's a wise saying that if a human mind can think it can happen. You know,
तो मेरे ख्याल से रियलएक्स भी इंडिया में ऐसा कोई नहीं कर रहा है.
ऐसा कोई नहीं करता.
कोई नहीं है.
And we took 2.5 years just to sit down and build the construct of RealX. अभी क्या मजा आता है पता है? What I can share as joy, जब आप इसको बना रहे होते हो ना, तब आप बहुत सारे फैसेट्स को डिजाइन कर रहे हो, आप बहुत बार रिव्यू कर रहे हो अपने कंस्ट्रक्ट्स को, एंड एवरी पीस, प्रोबेबली एवरी कॉमा बाद में बिकम्स मैग्निफाइड जब मार्केट्स बड़े होते हैं, खड़े होते हैं, एंड ऑल दैट, एंड पीपल आर आस्किंग ये होगा तो कैसे होगा, तब बताना पड़ता है ये हमारे इस कंस्ट्रक्ट में अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट किया हुआ है. अच्छा, so you are not saying, you know, and that probably comes back to your answer to fintech guys,
हाँ.
in especially, कि don't think, I think especially fintech में जब इन्वेस्टमेंट साइड बात कर रहा हूँ, ₹1 किसी को लेने के पहले build it out, at least in your head, at least know that these are the 6 steps that it will go in terms of improvements. For example, as I say, अपने platforms में भी कि, you know, we will have to invest in, let's say, cyber security, ये वो सब कुछ, but that is commensurate with value at risk. Total value at risk जैसे होगा वैसे वैसे investments बढ़ेंगी, you know, into that. But you must not be ignorant about what you are going to do. You must know and know I'm not executing it today. You know, so you cannot say that मेरे को नहीं मालूम उस इन्वेस्टर का क्या होगा, but मैं शुरू कर देता हूँ. That, especially in investment platforms, is not recommended. Don't do that. Regulators will not like it. Nobody will like it. And every time there has been an attempt to do that, it has faltered.
Got it.
You know, so यहाँ पे तो there is no difference between a bank and you, especially you are handling money and investments. No ignorance of law. What dreads me is if there are things that I could have done as a professional and somebody will lose something because I did not do right as a professional. I could have spent more time. We could have improved our process, and especially into some things which were kind of no-brainer. We just were too busy growing. Okay. I personally think I've not succeeded yet, but I think those things are not doable. Be institutional grade to start with. You are what you think you are. You will build an institution only if you think you are building an institution. So that thing helped. We didn't become the only private market, let's say that the regulator evaluated and, did not find anything that they should be worried about. Let's put it that way. That distinction was only a validation of what you had thought about before, and then you went to them. Okay. So everything that I have learned in my journey was think through very well. Maybe like the Japanese do. Obsess about all that. Know your laws, know the regulations very well. Don't think someday they will come and roll you out. That shouldn't be the case. They might, but they might not.
Now, I like to interject because this is what I have learned, and I pass it on to all my juniors who come in and all that. He's taught us one thing. He's taught me because I was his mentee, so he's taught me one thing very clearly in life is आप लोगों के पैसे invest करा रहे हो, वो अपने पैसे डाल रहे हैं. It doesn't matter where it comes from, and we are bringing it to the masses. That means it is somebody's hard-earned money savings that they have made and they've kept it. Imagine अगर आपके पैसे होते हैं और आपने डाला होता और वो पैसे आपको डूब जाते, नहीं आते वापस, how would you feel? Take that feeling, think about what exactly are you building and then go about it. तो आज भी जब हम लोग बात करते हैं, so we talk about this. Even when I speak to investors, I tell them, I said, I understand, आपकी hard earned money है, आप पूछोगे questions हमें, और आपको right है उसको पूछने के लिए, और आप उन्हें इतना याद रखिएगा कि हम ऐसे नहीं करेंगे. We will ensure that this is very, very important on the other side. I think I have taken it every step of my way as to wherever
investments, people will lose money also.
Yeah.
But the worst form of that is for want of something that you could have done. Genuine business risks is fine, but not for the want of system processes and things like that. That is too silly. And that happened in crypto a lot. If you see what happened with Celsius, on all these, darlings of crypto, they had a very genuine promise. They just didn't code. As simple as that. Their smart contracts were not in place.
Correct.
It was as simple as that because they started growing faster than, their code was incomplete and they got market traction before that. And they got busy with the market traction. So I dread, we will not also be perfect, but that is my dread, that we should not do that. I mean, that is when I will not respect myself as a professional.
Interesting.
Professional manager, of the handling something. I didn't do my job well. I did my job well as a founder of something that was a thought, as an idea. I established that, made it happen, which is fine. But beyond that, as far as I'm running the company, I didn't do my job well.
Manish and Neera, based in Singapore, मैंने एक trend notice किया है, and the trend is from RWA, which is real world assets, to RWB, which is real world business. And इसको simply put करे तो discounting of bills ले लो आप, या फिर helping companies get funding for their business needs. Working capital ले लो, तो working capital में समझो they already have orders, उसको कैसे, लेकिन वो उसकी पेमेंट आएंगे 3 महीने के बाद, 6 महीने के बाद, तो उसको कैसे हम अगेंस्ट दैट पेमेंट दे सकते हैं. तो ये RWB इज बिकमिंग वेरी वेरी पॉपुलर. तो आपके प्लेटफॉर्म में आपने कहा कि GrecX इज अबाउट funding companies through equity and debts, and RealX is about property, and specifically right now on land. So is RWB going to be one of the asset class, or I cannot say asset class, but one of the ways of funding for businesses and for investors to put their money. Anyone can share.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting area. So you put both the things that are close to our heart and, brought out this RWB concepts. One side, we are doing companies and, their securities. And one side, we are doing real world assets.
Ji.
And then you took the real world, instead of asset, you said now talk businesses. So one side businesses and the other side real world assets. We are combining them and we are talking about how about funding receivables of these companies.
Ji.
And that's a very large market in China. Much of the market in India is similar to China, where you have unorganized players. You have smaller, larger, all kinds of enterprises, companies, which all are supplying to a larger company. And that ecosystem is very, very well established in China. I think the current statistics I don't have, but once I did the research, it was around 97% of all companies funding was through RWB invoices discounting. And somehow that has not happened yet here as well. And while I was talking to you, and you also said that this is something that even Singapore has a huge market left to be done, and that excited me.
Right.
So RWB is something definitely that was around. We hadn't taken our first steps, but between the two, I think we have this as a very natural step forward that we can do RWBs.
I think your regulatory is already in place. और आपको ये करने के लिए तो मुझे लगता है it's a no-brainer. And this is something which would be something very welcoming to both companies as well as to investors.
Yeah, so I'll share a small snippet. While I was with the Small and Medium SME Chamber of India, where predominantly we saw a lot of these SMEs industries, who are striving to raise capital. Abhi us waqt tak to I don't think fundraising had become so popular the way equity startup ke time pe it began. Startup brought into how can you have individual investors investing into companies. Earlier it was two routes they had. One was ek to apne paise lagaye aap, sab kuch khada kare, and plant and machinery ke liye typically go to the bank, mortgage it and take it out. Now what I think with them, most of these large industries came up from there, began their journey from there. Second part that I saw, what I noticed there was these companies had a lot of orders from international businesses. Working capital ki need hoti thi, and working capital at that time was either through your friends and family, aap market se uthaya isko, there was a huge interest rate that you paid for it, or through banks. That was the channel, two channels open to them. Banks did, I know they used to work it out, but there was still that little bit of an open area, grey area, jahan pe wo needs puri nahi hoti thi. Because bank had a limit as to how much they could be given to these industries. Already inke sare mortgage, properties mortgage hote the wahan pe. Then how do you back a company? Because itne sare loans ke baad, again the credit rating that comes into play. All the businesses. And that's where the cry is. If this does come into play, into the RWB, I think that will give a lot of relief to the industries who are waiting for some kind of an investment for their working capital.
Right.
How do they move ahead? And that will lead to a lot of businesses trying to explore how can they move their business. And they will not shut down. That is the only scare. If you don't get the money, businesses shut down. Because आपके पास नहीं है capital करने के लिए, आप नहीं grow कर सकते.
So do we see that happening very soon on your platform?
We give us the idea. Allow some time to think about it.
Okay, let's have some fun. Okay, we'll do a rapid fire round. I'm going to say something and tell me which one of the two comes to your mind. So maybe the first one is to Manish. Manish, between private markets and real estate, which is more exciting? Quick. Which comes to your mind?
Private markets.
Private markets. And
Private market.
private markets. Okay.
Yes.
Your favorite investment book? Which is yours?
Companies in Greg's.
Okay, I don't read.
You don't read. Okay. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee. Okay. Are you a morning person or a late night?
Morning.
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 I became a morning person.
You became okay. One global fintech or proptech founder you admire? Manish?
Yeah. That's a tough one. But I do admire, locally, Vijay Shekhar Sharma.
For me, it's been him. So I.
Wow. Amazing. This is a feather in your cap, because to have your mentee look up to you is commendable. Really commendable. So I remember this one day when I was with my parents and बचपन की बात है और किसी ने मुझे कहा कि आपके हीरो कौन है, तो मैंने कहा मेरे पापा. तो सडनली वो उसकी आंखों में से आंसू निकल गए. तो मैंने कहा डैड व्हाई यू क्राइंग? तो ही सेड मुझे लगा आप किसी फिल्म स्टार का नाम लोगे या फिर क्रिकेटर का नाम लोगे, लेकिन आपने मेरा नाम ले लिया. So and I didn't realize it came very naturally to me, my dad. Today when I'm a dad, I realize that I made a very, very big
statement. Yeah.
impact on him because मेरे बच्चे आंसू ही नहीं बोलते. और अगर बोलते हैं तो maybe it would be a big shock to me. But if they said that, I would be like, wow.
Yeah, but I tell you something.
Not many times they don't realize also.
हाँ.
So
So my son gave a statement that my son made was a shocker to me. While I just came back, while we were with Greg's, I came back and I was traveling. I was home and both the kids came to me. I have a son and a daughter. So both of them came to me and as usual, daughters are never interested as to what you're doing. They're more interested in what the bags contain.
Huh.
The son was more interested as to what were you doing, where did you go, and I explained. He said, okay, explain to me, what do you do? Like, I see you गायब. I don't see you doing the typical 9 to 5 का job. आप गायब रहते हो, आप होते क्या हो, कर क्या रहे हो? तो समझाया. Startup क्या होता है? Because to a 10, 11-year-old, you're trying to explain what startup is. So I explained the startup and I thought कि भैया अब तो और question आएंगे. I've baffled this बच्चा already. 2 minutes, and he's a very quiet child. 2 minutes, he just went quiet. And I said, finished. I was not able to explain to my own child what it means. So forget explaining to anybody else outside this. What am I doing? He just looks up and says, okay, so you're doing something like Facebook and Zuckerberg? I'm like, huh? I'm like, come again? He says, yeah, you're doing like that. And it should take you another 4 or 5 years to get to where exactly you need to. So I think I'm okay. I can, next 5 years, I can see less of you. I'm all right with it. And trust me, I was
Zapped.
I did not know how to react. And I just said, I hope, and in my mind and my heart, I said, I just hope I live up to what you're thinking about. That's the only thing that it's a huge trust entrusted upon to you, because okay, you'll reach there. I'm like, okay, Facebook, okay.
The awareness level is amazing.
I'll revise one answer though.
हाँ.
I generally don't read. Reason also is that I don't. All the things that I've done in my life has been original work. So I don't let myself be affected. So first principles पे solve करो, problems. So इसलिए I don't read.
Correct.
I read reports, but not someone's, thoughts, organized thoughts. So, but one book I did read on very strong recommendation was Hard Things About Hard Things.
I was going to counter that. I think my
and I recalled that, and I think I drew that. So part of it was learning, part of it
By who?
was relating. By Ben Horowitz.
Okay.
So
no, so he
of
read that.
Harrison Horowitz.
He's read that and he recommended. Okay, he always recommended because I was learning the ropes, right? I was somebody who was given the platter when I was not ready for the platter.
Okay.
And now said, okay, manage it. Again, it's almost like you in the hotel industry, you're taking hospitality. Hold this. This is your baby. Now try and work it.
Manual, हाँ.
Manage it. And I have no idea how do I move up or how do I even conduct myself. That was a journey that I...
जी.
So suddenly is it कि ये book है या पढ़ लीजिए hard things about hard things simply.
So the book is about what? Business
I'll
or
tell you
It's
what
about startup journeys,
Startup.
product, how you think,
the journey as to what exactly happened with fun.
failing, succeed.
समझ गया समझ
Yeah.
गया
And how does the CEO behave? Everything.
Ah.
I was reading it, and I just after a couple of chapters, I stopped reading it. So he asked me, ऐसे क्या हो गया? And I said कि आपने बुक दी थी, ऐसे क्यों दी थी मुझे बुक? ये पढ़ने के लिए it's nice because वहाँ पे सारे लिखे हुए हैं. मैंने कहा जरूरत नहीं है. तो he said why? जैसे जो भी मैंने पढ़ा अब तक ये मैं ऑलरेडी जी चुकी हूँ आपके साथ. So उसमें से I was not learning anything. I may only learn कि उसकी characteristics कैसे थे and how do you manage those things. He said I may not be perfect, but people behave differently. तो आप उसको समझिए कि वो कैसे डिफरेंट थे और आप उसको समझ के अपने आप में कोई इनकलकेट कीजिए. मैंने कहा जरूरत नहीं. एंड ऑनेस्टली आई हैवंट टोल्ड दिस टू, आई एम गोइंग टू गेट अ वेरी बैकलैश फॉर दिस. I have not finished that book so far. It adorns my bookshelf.
I think जरूरत ही नहीं है. You're like getting real
Exactly.
on the job experience of
Exactly.
becoming an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Okay, some more fun questions. Okay, early stage startups or mature companies?
Early stage startup any day.
To be mature because they understand.
Property tokenization or REITs?
Property token.
Proper organization.
Okay, चलो ठीक है.
How can I go against my own baby?
ठीक है. Just to wrap up, okay. If you could give one piece of advice for long-term wealth creation, which one would you choose? Investing in businesses like equity, for example, private markets. Would you tell an investor, supposing I as an investor comes with X amount of money, should I invest in real estate tokenization or should I invest in private markets? How would you help me grow my wealth?
Okay, let me take that.
Yeah.
So, first, I think I wanted to say this earlier as well. There is nothing in my mind, there's nothing called an investor. The moment we call someone an investor, we outclass a lot many people who don't think they are investor enough. I think everybody has a right to grow. Everybody is an investor. We build things for everyone, So the very word investor might make people less relatable. उनको लगेगा ये उनके लिए नहीं है. Recently somebody was giving me a statistic about their product and they said they had an investment product and they were saying कि सर हमारा ना 5 लाख के ऊपर तो कैशबैक देते हैं वो लोग. तो 5 लाख के ऊपर तो किराने वाले यूज करते हैं, उनको तो 1% मिल जाता है, बहुत खुश होते हैं. Then he said one statement on the go.
Okay.
60,000 से 1 लाख वाले ना हमारे X नंबर ऑफ यूजर्स हैं. सर इनके पास तो पैसे ही नहीं है इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए.
अच्छा.
That shakes you. Understand? मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ कि and that product is about मैं जो रिवॉर्ड देता हूँ ना, मैं उसको ट्रेजरी की तरह मैनेज कर लूँ. रिवॉर्ड जनरेट करूंगा एंड मैं इन्वेस्टमेंट करूंगा उनके लिए. अंडरस्टैंड द प्रोफाउंडनेस ऑफ दैट स्टेटमेंट कि सर इतनी लार्ज चंक ऑफ पीपल जस्ट डोंट सेव इनफ टू इन्वेस्ट. नाउ ऑल दैट जब मैं जितना ज्यादा सुनता हूँ ना, इट्स शेकिंग यू. यू कैन ऑलवेज बिल्ड प्रोडक्ट्स फॉर द रिच, फॉर द वेल्दी, बट लोगों के पास तो पैसे ही नहीं है in the first place. So, long story short, I have 2 businesses which are at different spectrums of risk. One is about taking the highest amount of risk, where you are in a way partnering with a business out of an idea, or more than an idea, and you grow with that. We can reduce a lot of the risk elements there, but we can't take the risk away of the business itself failing and things like that.
Right.
So some of it, genuine risks will remain. The other side is the safest side of all. I mean, of all assets, we are doing land. So I think there are completely different spectrums. Listed is still less risky than probably this side.
Yeah.
So one is the the speedometer, one is at 0 and one is at the max.
Correct.
Kind of stuff. So we have organized that max, in terms of controlled risk, growth. It will not stop. Journey will not happen, but it is still that drive of an enterprise. Everyone should do that, because everyone, at least in India, I know everyone wants to become an entrepreneur. Every 9 to 5 guy yearns to become an entrepreneur. He is not able to become an entrepreneur. That is where my thoughts differ with government, with a lot of people.
I think with your RWB, a lot of people will.
Maybe that's a way between. But if you cannot do it, research someone and back someone with the little capital that you have, so that you become part of it passively. You also did that. So that is what the idea was. That is what participative wealth creation should be. And both the platforms are doing participative wealth creation. Real estate is not real estate. There are some real estate that generates way superior wealth than the rest of them. Most commonly invested real estate does not generate returns, but the ones that generate returns is not even shown to people. They don't even have access to such real estate. The other one allows them access to such real estate. So invest wisely. We are platforms. We are not peddling a company or a deal. People should be able to choose their deals. We are enabling them to partake into growth. I would not want people over investing in businesses, but I would say that it is reasonably safe to invest whatever you can into these properties and things like that. In fact, the whole idea was that if I was in my IT job time, if I could invest in something like this that RealX brings in for 8-10 years, I probably will achieve my financial freedom. Give it to a nation, give it to a person, give it to a young guy, and the nation will have a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of entrepreneurship.
I think when investors invest in your platform, whether it's RegX or RealX, they're investing in the India growth story. I see it that way.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And see, both of them, as he rightly explained, if you talk to me about from a woman's perspective, I would definitely jump to the real estate because that's more secure. With no risk, I am being very practical in my thinking and doing it, right? However, being an entrepreneur on the other side, I wear both the hats. As an entrepreneur, if you tell me, see, I've seen so many entrepreneurs throughout my 8 years of working, 10 years of working in the Rex, is I've seen entrepreneurs struggle. People struggle. It's humans. They are humans at the end of the day. They are putting their effort and they are taking the risk of building something which can benefit a lot of things. They are not copy paste. Like if you have 10,000 apps that come in कि आज मैं deliver कर दूंगा, मैं कल वो कर दूंगा, आप उसको replicate कर सकते हो. But strong businesses that have stayed, why has Amazon stayed up? Okay, you have Paytm that fought through just because with one stroke, they have become the talk of the town today. And India has gone to a different level completely. However, when I look at some of them who've not, they've built amazing products and they've not even reached there. I want to say, how can they participate in that? And that business is not available to you, accessible to you very easily. How can I join that person? Help the person build it. Hence, I say when we look at investors or people who are ready to put in the capital, are people who are ready to back you, work with you. Don't be passive. Be involved. Be involved with where the person is going. That's when you build a business together. You build a stronger business and be supportive. I mean, businesses fail and they're supposed to. It's a part and parcel of life. Don't shrug the entrepreneur because he just took one wrong decision. I'm a founder of I shut my startup, one of them. My first startup, I said. But yes, I did cry. He was there. He knows about it. He was the one who coaxed me into it. And I cried my lungs out. But at the end of the day, he said, okay, just get up, dust yourself, see what you've learned and move. But because I had somebody who was as strong as him with me, who backed me, that's when I could restart the journey and take the leap. Otherwise, you lose faith and you lose confidence in yourself.
Right.
What I'm saying is, can we back them? can we work with them? Hence, working with the companies and startups and founders is the most exciting because
True.
no day is similar to you. It's a lovely roller coaster journey, and you learn so much about people, and it keeps you happy.
Fantastic. Guys, what an amazing podcast, I should say. If you ask me, one should invest 50% in real estate and 50% in startups or private markets, because what GregX and RealX is doing, or rather Manish and Neera is doing, is they're giving you access to private markets which are usually not accessible. They're only accessible to institutional investors, to high net worth individuals, and of course land. Not everyone can afford to buy land. It requires a lot of money. So with RealX, they're tokenizing it and you can get access to land. So we'll share with you the platform links of GregX as well as RealX.
I need to correct you. Greg.
Grex, sorry, Grex. Thank you so much. Grex and RealX.
Yes.
RealX. Thank you, Manish. And you can go. And for those who are in businesses, you can go to Grex and you can understand how they are helping businesses get funding. And soon to be, hopefully, you will hear about real world business funding as well, which is nothing but helping companies discounting their invoices, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Manish. Thank you, Neera. It was so wonderful for you to come and share on our podcast. And it was so much of insight that you have given our audience. And we'll definitely want to support you and your initiative. And we want to see you grow, not only in India and become the fintech platform for India, but grow at a global level and help founders and bring properties not only of Indian land, but global properties on your platform. So thank you once again.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the very best.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.